Hey everyone, I just wanted to hop on and give an update of what I've learned this last week in school. So, the primary focus was on various vitamins. So, we looked at both fat soluble vitamins as well as water soluble vitamins. Fat soluble vitamins are absorbed when we consume them with dietary fats, and then also they need bile from the liver in order to ensure they're adequately absorbed in the body. The first fat soluble vitamin we studied was vitamin A. The other name for that is retinol. That is an essential vitamin as far as for proper vision, a healthy immune system, and a healthy reproductive system. That one is one where it's best to limit the dose that you take. It recommended 2,500 international units or less of that due to risk of taking it in higher doses. So definitely one to talk with your provider or pharmacist if you choose to take. Vitamin E was the next vitamin. It's considered to be an antioxidant. Some good natural food sources of vitamin E include sunflower seeds, sunflower oil, almonds, tofu, spinach, avocados, and broccoli. The next one is vitamin D. The best source of vitamin D supplementation is actually getting sunlight. So 10 minutes of sunlight a day prior to putting on sunscreen is the best way to get vitamin D. It can be very challenging to do in the winter, especially in the Midwest. So the majority of people benefit from taking vitamin D supplementation in the winter, especially if you don't have good natural sources of sunlight. There are different types of vitamin D. So there's vitamin D3 or vitamin D2. In general, vitamin D3 is considered to be superior as far as like an absorption standpoint. It is important to note that if you're vegan, you would want to take vitamin D2. Vitamin D3 is generally made from lanolin, which is sheep's wool. And then some companies use like fish oil. So if you're vegan, then probably vitamin D2 would be the one to choose. Next segment of vitamins we looked at were water soluble vitamins, so ones that need water for proper absorption. The first one was vitamin B6. Some natural food sources of vitamin B6 are organ meats, fish, potatoes, sweet potatoes, and then non citrus fruits. The next one we looked at was vitamin B3. It typically comes in two forms, so niacin and niacinamide. This one should be taken under the care of a provider just to ensure that you're taking proper dosing, and then also so they can monitor your liver function. And then that's a common supplement to take where some patients may experience like facial flushing or redness of the face. Folate was the next vitamin we looked at. Folic acid is crucial in the prevention of birth defects, especially specific neural tube defects, which tend to occur very early in a pregnancy. So that's why you'll hear all women of childbearing age are encouraged to be taking a prenatal vitamin that has folic acid in it, just to minimize the risk of those neural tube defects in an infant. And so, even though you may not be planning to be pregnant, if you're within the age of having a child and then could potentially have a child, really important to assure adequate folic acid supplementation, which you can find in prenatal vitamins. The next one is vitamin B12. Some natural food sources are fish, meat, eggs, dairy products, shiitake mushrooms, and dried seaweed. Those at greatest risk of being B12 deficient would be vegans, pregnant women, alcoholics, patients who've had bariatric surgery, and then patients who take proton pump inhibitors or metformin. So those tend to be the patients that benefit the most from vitamin B12 supplementation, and it very much will affect energy and mood. The next vitamin we studied was vitamin C. It's another powerful antioxidant. Humans cannot make their own vitamin C, so the only way to get vitamin C is through your diet. So some good sources of vitamin C are in fruits and vegetables. And then something I learned was that when you cook those foods, it can actually decrease the vitamin C. So actually, raw fruits and vegetables would contain more vitamin C. Although for some people, it can be harder to digest. So I feel like it's having a healthy balance of cooked and uncooked fruits and vegetables. So yeah, If there was something you learned, please drop it in the comments. Thanks for listening along, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.